there was, of course, this one from Bounding into Comics. We're just going to quickly read through it. And, of course, one of my co-hosts gets a little bit of a mention in this, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, let's go through this article real quick.
All right. Obi-Wan Kenobi writer appears to be oblivious of Revenge of the Sith, has no clue Kenobi knew Anakin was Darth Vader. Obi-Wan Kenobi writer Joby Harold recently discussed the latest Disney Plus Star Wars show and appeared to reveal that he had no idea that Kenobi knew that Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader. Speaking with The Wrap, Harold revealed he didn't originally pitch Kenobi not knowing that Darth Vader survived their battle. He said, "That was actually not something I pitched originally. That was something I discovered along the way, and sort of had to confirm with Pablo and really think, hold on a second, what does he actually know?" From there, Harold lists off a string of questions with one of them implying he and the team at Lucasfilm working on the show do not realize that Obi-Wan Kenobi knows that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader. He questioned, does he know the moniker Vader?
All right, just hold up there for a second. Does he know the moniker of Vader? What would that mean? Now, this line here really tells you that means that Obi-Wan, he's implying that Obi-Wan doesn't know that Anakin is Vader. I was mistaken. Last week I was talking about how they're trying to imply that Obi-Wan didn't know that Vader was still alive or survived. And that is still a thing. But this really does tell you that the writers don't know the story. They really don't. And they didn't even bother to go back and even get context for themselves. They went to Pablo Hidalgo. Your best reference is the fucking movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it says, there's a scene in the movie too, actually, that specifically indicate that Obi-Wan knows Vader is Anakin. And there's just no question about it.
Absolutely. And it does actually reference those 2 points further in the article. Yep. We'll just continue on.
Can he associate the two? Was he cognizant of it? How isolated is he? Where's Vader at the time? Where's his reputation and how well known is he? All those pieces of the puzzle that you ignored.
Yeah.
However, anyone who has watched Revenge of the Sith should know that Kenobi does indeed know that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader, as esteemed YouTuber Open Airlock Policy points out.
Yeah. Good job.
After calibrating the code to warn Jedi to stay away from Coruscant, Kenobi views a security recording of Anakin killing Jedi and younglings in the temple. It then cuts to Skywalker kneeling before Darth Sidious. Sidious tells him, "You have done well, my new apprentice. Now, Lord Vader, go and bring peace to the Empire."
Well done there, Greg. Nicely done.
No, thank you.
So that's
After viewing the security footage, Yoda tells Obi-Wan, twisted by the dark side young Skywalker has become, the boy you trained, gone he is, consumed by Darth Vader. Obi-Wan is then tasked with killing Darth Vader by Yoda as he sets out to face off against Darth Sidious.
That's pretty much it with this. I mean, there's enough there, again, to reference what the writers should know going into this series. I mean, you're writing a story about a character that is very well established in both trilogies, that you're putting a story right in the middle of. Now, I noticed that Pablo Hidalgo came out on Twitter and was talking about, I think he was trying to defend the fact that, no, they're just trying to say that it was the fact that he didn't know he survived.
Yes, but and that is a deliberate obfuscation of the issue.
Yep.
So they're conflating the two on purpose to gaslight real Star Wars fans and to try and cover their own asses. They're two distinct issues. Does Obi-Wan know Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker? And the answer is unquestionably yes. He knew that in Revenge of the Sith. Then they try and conflate the issue as like, oh, but did he know that Darth Vader survived on Mustafar? And the question is like, no, not initially. Of course he didn't know initially. For sure, he assumed he died there. The issue with the show is not whether or not he finds out Vader is still alive. It's when.
Yeah, that exactly. Yes.
The issue is when. We are talking about 10
years.
years.
He hasn't seen him on the holonet.
Years. 10 years, man. 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. 10 years.
He's the fucking face of the Empire. Yeah, then he hasn't seen him on the holonet. And this is where, again, I've mentioned it before, and we won't go right into it, but in the EU, it's done a hell of a lot better. It only took a year, and he was still on Tatooine to find it out. He didn't have to leave or anything. He saw it on the holonet after a year. He freaked out. Qui-Gon came to him and said, stop freaking out. You're doing the right thing. Just stay on your path. That's it in a nutshell. I'm actually working on a video breaking that whole thing down. So there are, yes, Greg is right. There are two distinct differences. There is the fact that Obi-Wan actually does know that Anakin is Palpatine. Anakin is Vader. And imagine if they did that. And then there's the other thing that does Obi-Wan know that he survived the shores of Mustafar? And initially, no, he didn't. He thought he died. He thought he killed him. He just left him there to die. He couldn't.
Which is a logical assumption on his part, of course.
Yeah.
But then the issue is like, how would he not know after 10 years? And then even if you want to go so far as to say that he's been living with his head in the sand for 10 years, never saw any HoloNet thing, never. Okay, then how does he know about the Inquisitors? Okay.
Yeah.
And let's say somebody told him that, but left out Darth Vader. Okay. Why wouldn't Bail Organa kind of mention that when he meets Obi-Wan Kenobi face to face in the first or second episode?
Yeah. Oh, Vader's still alive.
By the way, Anakin survived, because of course Bail Organa would know.
That's so true. I didn't even think about that. This is the thing, when you start to think about all the things that you've seen in the show and how then that adds up to some of what they'd like to think is cause and effect throughout the show, just isn't there. And the writers don't know Star Wars well enough to even portray that as a good story. Like, there's so many holes in it. Exactly what Greg just said. Bail Organa, when he shows up and speaks to Obi-Wan, should have said, Obi-Wan, I need you to go and get my daughter. I need you to go and get Leia. But by the way, Vader survived. Vader is still alive. I mean, even that doesn't make sense. The fact that it's 10 years down the track and he's finding out that he's still alive.
Right. And it's not like Vader in this show. In this show, Vader is not some sort of secret, clandestine, nobody's ever heard of him. These path people that are smuggling Jedi are well aware of him. In this latest episode, they're apparently tracking his whereabouts, because he's like, where is he? Oh, he's not on Mustafar, he's on his ship. Yeah. And he's close by, but he's not on this other moon where the other impregnable base is. We'll get to that.
Oh, we'll get to that.
But so Vader is very much in the public eye. He is not some sort of myth or anything like that, because many, many, many people are aware of him, and they're certainly aware of the Inquisitors. Mm-hmm. So even this show's own writing shoots down that theory. It's just not possible that he could have not known Vader was alive.
Yep. That's what it really comes down to. And the fact that the writers don't actually know that and had to go to Pablo to confirm that, to check that, is just, that's beyond me. How do you employ somebody to make this series, to write this series, and not check their credentials in regards to knowing the story? It just doesn't add up. It just does not add up. It's so bad.